Yeah. Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All I Can Geek Gamecast, episode 418. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Yo.
Scary.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Talent always wins.
Okay. Yes, welcome listeners, welcome viewers to 418 of the Gamecast. If you've watched the movie cast already, you'll know that we're going to be doing our top 5 best candies of all time, or have fun with this episode. Halloween candies, sorry. It's a Halloween episode. We did our top lists last year. We did definitive lists of our top movies. So we felt, and a top 5 games. So we felt like, let's do our candy list, because that's fun. So look for that today. Let's kick it off with what we've been up to, guys. Game-wise, what have we been playing? I haven't gotten to play too much. It's with work, I haven't gotten to play there, and I finished up, obviously, Tomb Raider last week, and I platinum Spider-Man, but I haven't gotten the DLC yet for that, so not much for me to add. Tony, what have you been playing?
So real quick before I get into that, I just want to let people know that if they want to listen to our scariest horror movies games, it's episode number 366. So you
Perfect.
Can go.
We did
the 13th.
Oh yes, 13th. Yes. So yes, that was a good idea of us. See, we have good ideas sometimes.
Yeah, we have good ideas sometimes.
All right.
As for me, I've been juggling a lot of different things, mostly the same stuff. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC, Magic Arena, League of Legends, because Worlds got me super hyped. Just talk a little bit about that. This is the first time in a couple of years that a Korean team has not made it to the semifinals. For
represent, man, come on.
The former number 1 team for like 2 years ago, they didn't qualify, and the team that won last year didn't qualify. So it's just like, and I think there's one North American team and a couple European teams. So it's like, this is like the year that anybody can take it. So it's been really interesting to watch because everybody's just like, blood in the water, like feeding frenzy right now. So it's been absolutely crazy. So super hyped about that. But just, those usual games. Yeah, just the usual games. Overwatch League is starting to get exciting because they showed off Atlanta Reign today. So that'll be the name of the new team going forward. So yeah, just getting hyped for the new
No offense, but Atlanta Reign sounds like a porn star.
Yeah, I mean it's Atlanta, so I feel like it's appropriate.
All right. Mike, what have you been playing?
I'm still playing The Witcher. The Hearts of Stone DLC. I went through that and it's pretty good actually. Definitely, it's like a darker take, and it was appropriate for this time of year. The big chunk of it is basically in a haunted mansion, and you also face an entity that's basically evil itself. So that was fun.
Okay.
The other expansion is I'm into now, which is it's totally different. It's a totally new area, and it's all big and bright and like nightly. It's a funny change of pace. So there's still a lot going on in that game for me, which is crazy that I've got this far.
Yeah, I heard the DLC won freaking awards. So
I think it was Blood and Wine that was like the
Blood and Wine is the bigger expansion that I'm in the teeth of right now. So yeah, it's good.
Nice.
Cool. Corey, what have you been up to?
This is the usual stuff still. Yep. They all have like these live games have like Halloween stuff going on. So like Overwatch has got the Halloween thing going on. Destiny's got their Halloween thing going on. And on my phone, Dragalia Lost has a Halloween thing going on. So it's like, yeah, they got like these. I like that they're doing these events, and that's kind of what I was like thinking. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking about when I was talking. Like, I think our spoiler cast was Spider-Man, and just like, wouldn't it be awesome if you could go back to Spider-Man right now and have like a Halloween decked out in New York City? I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be neat, and not necessarily have like an online world that's living like that, but just like have events that come out during seasonal times like that. That'd be neat.
Yeah,
so, I do like that, and I think that this season with Destiny, they did a fantastic job with the Halloween stuff. They took a mode that everyone hated, or a section of the game that everyone hated, and they made it like a haunted thing.
Okay.
So it's actually we're able to make something that was pretty awful into something that was worth playing. So
cool.
Good for them.
All right. Okay. Let's get into the news. let's see here. Leading it off, we've got, what is this PlayStation World lineup? Is this from the delay of Days Gone? Is this what we're really highlighting here? Tony, you posted that article.
Sorry, let me go.
Sorry, is like World lineup the studio's release lineup?
Worldwide
the next wave? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just empty.
Well, I mean, they don't have much, and Days Gone got delayed again for those wondering.
Yep, Days Gone got
so.
right. That was the main point that
Yeah.
I was looking at. Days Gone delayed again. It is weird because this is the first time that I think Sony's actually said specifically that due to like just the competitive nature of that release window, which is interesting. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think maybe it shows a little bit of their less than 100% confidence in that title because I think we can all agree out of Sony's first party lineup over the past generation of PlayStation 4, this has to be the weakest looking exclusive. I think we could.
I think so.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it just looks too much like the other games.
Right.
It doesn't stand out as much. I think it's got some interesting ideas. It just doesn't see how it comes together. But I don't know. It seems very generic. Is the problem?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you guys. Can you when was it supposed to come out and when is it coming out now?
It's
was supposed to be February.
It was February with the massive February games, and then it's now April 26th, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's good for them. Yeah,
It's not huge, yeah. But I'm only a PlayStation 4 owner, and I really could not care less about this game.
Yeah, there you go.
No interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's like Mr. Generic, main character, Mr. Generic zombie.
Everything, right? The setting is just like the game would have to come out and get 95 plus Metacritic. Everybody be like, Game of the Year. And then I'd be like, all right, I guess
I gotta check this out. Yeah,
but anything lower than that, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need another zombie game right now.
Yeah,
unless it's Left 4 Dead 3, then I take everything back.
All right. Let's move into VR news. Tony, we talked about this real quick this morning. I missed the first article you posted, and I saw the second one. So, first of all, the Oculus VR co-founder Brendan Uribe leaves the company. He's taking a break from that. Not good for Oculus, I guess. I was like, that's not bad because they had Astrobot come out, which everybody's been raving about. I'm like, it's not bad at all. But then the article you posted before with the quote from the CEO is, "You can't build a business on current VR." I mean, that's the biggest thing. So like, there's people closing down. It's not making money, right?
Yeah, I mean, so this is they right, like you said, they closed down an entire studio that they had built up for virtual reality. It wasn't just like a small time like indie type thing either. It was Eve Valkyrie, which is like a spin-off of the hugely popular MMO Eve. So like that out of everything should have been able to do well, and they're just like, nope. And then he who is it, the president? The CEO.
It was the CEO.
Yeah, Helmer Peterson has actually come out and said, we expected VR to be 2 to 3 times as big as it was, period. You can't build a business on that. And he goes, was it a surprise? Maybe, but the picture was filling in that there would not be a way to continue with VR as heavily as they were. He stressed there's no regrets about it, but he says if it does take off, and I mean if, we'll reassess. The important thing is we need to see the metrics for active users of VR. A lot of people bought headsets just to try it out. How many of those people are active? We found that in terms of our data, a lot of users were not. So
I bought one and I traded it in, so I'm no longer an active user. So.
Right, exactly.
It's Wii motion controls. It's guitar peripheral games. That's where it is.
I think it's even worse than that because at least Wii was accessible for at least 3 or 4 years.
Guitar Hero, Rock Band was huge forever.
They were, I mean, but it's just hard for the average user to like.
There's not enough space for it.
Justify all that in there without.
It's not easily accessible either.
It's a high barrier to entry.
Yeah,
you either have to have a really good rig, or you're buying like a PlayStation.
Your grandparents aren't going to be doing it as easily as
exactly.
Like a Wii.
Right, exactly. Wii was like, hey, $250, you got Wii bowling. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. So it's not good for VR. Let's see what else we have. Oh, we have a lot of Rockstar news actually because they had Kotaku reported a couple things. First one was last week's news was the small time retailers would not be getting Red Dead Redemption 2 to sell in their stores, and they weren't notified this until like last week. So a lot of them have been promoting this and getting special things for it, and spent some of them spent $3,300 for this launch event, and now they find out they're not getting the game at launch to allocate to bigger chain stores.
And not even for I think another week or two. It's pretty significant. Not just like a day or two.
Yeah. So Yeah, that's bad news. Then we also had the 100+ hour work week news come out today about Rockstar, where they've confirmed a lot of employees from Jason Schreier's investigation was that they've been working mandatory 100-hour work weeks. Mandatory.
Was that it, or was it just overtime?
Overtime week. So it's like a weekend, 2 weekends a month, or mandatory weekend.
It started 3 nights a week, and then it got ramped up to almost every day. Right.
Yeah, so 12 days in a row you were working it sometimes. I know that was a quote straight from the.
But it was mostly quality testers, quality assurance testers.
Well, no, that's so.
That's HR they were talking
so
about.
Here's did you guys read the full article? Because that was a long article.
No.
I didn't get to read the whole article, no.
All right, just making sure, because we're going back into discussion. I want to make sure you guys read the whole article. So yes, there is a segment specifically talking about QA. QA is obviously the biggest hit for Crunch because you can't ship a game with game-breaking bugs. Like, you're not even going to pass the Sony, the Microsoft, the Nintendo checks that say you're allowed to release this game, because if it breaks a system, we don't want that backlash. So QA is obviously the number one biggest offender in terms of crunch. But they have been working crunch mode since August 2017. So you're talking over an entire year of mandatory overtime. And yes, it did ramp up starting from an additional 4 to 8 hours up to, I think they're talking 60 to 80 now. So yeah, it seems like nobody has fully come out and said 100-hour weeks, but I mean, you're talking 60, 70, 80. I mean,
it's a lot of hours.
Still pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah, and it's mandatory OT, where if you didn't work one day, then you'd have to make that up the week after.
Right.
Like, if you didn't work the overtime on a Sunday, you would have to go and definitely work the Sunday after that. There's no question.
Right, and it got to the point where you got 1 day off a week, and if you wanted a full weekend just to enjoy just a regular weekend or go to a wedding or something like that, it's well, next week you have to make it up by working Sunday. So it's you're working 12 days in a row without.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
It's a super shitty, and that was just QA. I mean, again, I encourage everybody to read that full article. It is lengthy, like I said.
Yes,
it will take you some time.
Couldn't read it because it's Kotaku, and I can't watch that. I can't get to there at work.
Right. No, I wanted to understand, but it's a very interesting read. So yes, it doesn't seem like anybody.
Jason Schreier puts out some of the best stuff. Anything he puts out.
Right, but so there's some really alarming things there. So it was kind of interesting in how it happened, because he was investigating this before the interview with Vulture or Variety or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was Vulture.
Yeah, came out. But he had actually been invited to go to Rockstar to talk to people, employees. So they sat him in a room with the head of PR there, sitting in the room with him, and they were doing all these video conferences with people from all the other Rockstar studios. And he was, able to ask them any questions he wanted. And they're like, see, everything's great. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, no offense, but I can't really take everything at face value when they know you're here in the room with me. Nobody's going to give me their honest opinion. And they seem surprised at that. And it's really?
That's why you have an HR person there, so the people don't say the wrong thing.
Right. I understand it, but still.
No, I mean, that's why why would they be surprised about that?
Yeah,
right, exactly. And it's the other big takeaways for me is that is a culture that is bred on fear or abuse, where it's just hey, if you aren't working until 7 or 8 p.m. every night, you're letting everybody else down. And it was one of those things where people would notice that, and actually they said they had a chart where if anybody put in under 60 hours, they would have in red under the chart under. So it was just one of the things where it's well, that's weird. It's weird that they would come out and say, well, nobody was forced to work hard, but
you're really calling people out.
Kept track of it.
Yeah, right. If we keep track of everything, and that's tied to your performance review, interviews, if we're renewing your contract, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Like I said, it didn't seem all bad, because there were some people that are nope, I've never experienced this in my life. I don't know what those reports are talking about. But other people, it was interesting. Some people were afraid to even come out anonymous. They're everything has to be anonymous. Blah blah blah. We're scared for everything. This is it's interesting. Interesting.
Yep, it's bad. I mean, it's hopefully
this could be the best-selling game. That's most talked about.
Absolutely,
game.
It will be. Yeah,
100%, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this actually opens up new light on it as it goes.
And that's the thing, right? And that's
you need a catalyst, is what we've talked about already.
Right,
it's you need something to trigger a movement, be it Colin Kaepernick or.
Yeah. So, all right. NPD. last bit of news we have is NPD released their top 20 list of games, and I'm very happy with the top 10. I like it a lot. Let's just cover the top 10. Yeah, so it's an awesome top 10 actually, because we have NHL, we have Super Mario Party, which I heard is actually a really fun game for the Mario Party series.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did forget to talk about that. That also
yes, go on.
So real quick, I'll just interrupt. So yeah, I got to try out one game with my neighbor, 2-player mode. We had 2 computer, and I will say it's more classic than it's ever been in a long time. Probably since the GameCube days, like 6, 7 or something.
Classic Hateful.
So classic Hateful.
Oh, good. Okay.
So Jim, you'll get the most appreciated out of all this. So again, it's me and my neighbor, and we're both gamers and stuff like that. And we have 2 computers that are just set to the normal difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
We only did like 10 rounds, and so they definitely changed the formula up a little bit. So to get a star, you don't need 20 coins anymore. You only need 10. I guess they want to be a little bit faster paced.
Yes.
So you know how it gets to like the last 3 turns or whatever, and they're like, hey, we're going to do a small interruption and do a prediction, blah, 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 this and the other thing. So it comes out, and they're like, all right, Wario is in last place, but we're going to predict him to win the game. And we're just like, he has 0 stars. We both have like 2 and stuff like that, whatnot. The game goes, and like, there's an item that warps you directly in front of the star, so he gets warped directly in front of the star. But like, he only has like 8 coins, so he can't buy this as long as we don't let him win the mini game. Then I go and I land on a space that just like the Bowser space, and it's like, give 20 coins to everybody. I'm just like,
it wasn't staged.
It wasn't staged at all. And then there was a bonus, obviously a bonus star or 2 at the end, and I think they made up a new category. And I was like, what is that? Like, what is that bonus? Because you're like,
there always was bullshit stars. Yeah. It's like, we feel sorry for you. Yeah. Here's a star.
But like this one was completely new. I was like, that's a super pity star. Yeah. So yeah, in the short, Wario wound up winning the match, and we were just like both pissed off. But as far as the actual game goes, it's fun. A little light on the boards if you're interested in boards. I think there's only 4. But in terms of the mini games and stuff, all those are really fun. I think it strikes a nice balance between the Wii days and the GameCube days, where it's like with the Wii ones, it was all like 100% motion controls. It was just kind of gimmicky. Mm-hmm. With this, you hold it sideways because you can only use Joy-Cons. That's the one weird thing about it. You can only hold it sideways. But there are games that, it's traditional, like move the analog stick and press buttons. There are some where it's like, more motion oriented. There's ones where, I forget if you guys have seen those puzzles where like it's 2 pieces and it forms a cube. So like you have to like turn the pieces. In a 2v2, like there's one, like you control one, your partner controls the other, so you have to get to the match and whatnot. Yeah. So yeah, it's really fun. Cool. Looking forward to playing 4-player again. But yeah, there you go. Cool. Quick intermission.
So we had NHL, we had Mario Party, we have Destiny 2 at 8, we have Forza Horizon 4 at 7, which is impressive. Launch. And I want to say like that right there proves like this subscription model from Microsoft is doing them good, because not only did they get number 7 in sales on a game that is for free if you have Game Pass, but they still have their Game Pass subscriptions, which have gone up massively.
Absolutely. And quick note by the NPD said that Forza Horizon 4 achieved the highest launch month dollar sales in Forza franchise history, and the biggest launch for a racing game on any Xbox platform in history. So
wow. Game Pass is clearly a good idea. Hopefully we get more subscription models as we go forward for like Nintendo and Sony. Madden at 6. Obviously, all the sports are going to be up there. We have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I'm actually shocked to see on this list as well.
Yeah.
At 5. Yep. That sold pretty well. It went on sale pretty quickly, but that's not bad.
A lot of people are saying good things about it, though, other than you. It wasn't like
I'm sorry. It's what I thought of the game. It's what I thought of the game.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, it did reviewed well. So
it did. Yeah.
NPD's note for that was it achieved the second highest launch month dollar sales for the franchise after Tomb Raider 2013. So it's up from
the exclusive
Rise or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, so Rise. Obviously we can all see now that the exclusivity thing was a bad deal, which sorry, I said, back in the day. So.
All right, FIFA 19 at 4, Odyssey is at 3. Another premiere game this month. Sold very well.
There's a note for
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
So so FIFA 19 has the biggest opening since FIFA 16, so in 3 years. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey outdoes Origins. Double-digit percentage dollar sales growth when compared to the launch of Assassin's Creed Origins a year ago.
Wow. So, I guess people do want Assassin's Creed every year, as we were talking on Discord.
It's weird.
It also helps, like, if it's an interesting, like...
setting,
setting.
I
Well,
mean,
that's
I,
what I was gonna say. I don't know
I
if that's
thought Egypt was pretty interesting too, but
Well,
It
that's what I
was.
mean,
It was. Yeah.
Origins
This is
great.
interesting too.
Hey, maybe
I
it's those
mean-
new God of War, users looking for a little bit more, Greek
same
mythology.
type of thing.
NBA 2K19 is at 2, which is expected.
Fastest selling sports game since the NPD group began tracking the industry in 1995.
And the funny-
NBA 2K19 represents the biggest launch of any game in the NBA 2K franchise. It is now the best-selling sports game of 2018 year to date.
And
wow.
it's funny because if you ask anyone who seems to play the game, they'll be like, "Oh, 2K is trash," and they hate the microtransactions. But there it is.
So buy it.
There it is. They still buy it, and that's why they're in the game.
And
I
and-
did not buy 2K19 like
wow.
yet. I don't know.
yeah.
If,
You'll get it.
I don't know
You'll
if I'm
get
gonna
it.
get it, but like I did not get it this year so
You'll
far
get
because
it.
I'm just too busy with other games that I care about more.
This game is going to be a discounted Black Friday deal. You'll get it.
It's
Christmas.
a possibility.
Number 1, the exclusive Sony's and Marvel's Spider-Man.
Yes.
So
There's a lot of bullet points for this one, boys. Let me
go
just
ahead.
get through it.
Go ahead.
Marvel Spider, and this is all per NPD, so it's not
Yeah.
me. Marvel Spider-Man achieved the highest launch month dollar sales for any PlayStation exclusive in history, and is the 7th largest launch ever achieved by any game on any PlayStation platform. So that one right there is fucking impressive. Goes on to say, Spider-Man generated higher dollar sales in its launch than any other game this year, and currently ranks as the 3rd best-selling game of 2018 and the number 8 best-selling game over the last 12 months.
Wow.
Spider-Man achieved launch month sales 37% higher than the combined launch month sales of all other Spider-Man games released since the NPD group began tracking in 1995. So,
Nice.
yeah, fucking massive.
Single player games still alive.
Yeah. That's huge. That's good. Oh, wow. Anything on this list that outside the top 10 that should be of note?
Let me see
I didn't
here.
see. Let me see.
I don't know, a Rockstar game?
So number
Yeah,
So
your
number
good
ele-
friend over there.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. What? Go on, Tony.
So number 11 for the month, just narrowly missing out the top 10 was Dragon Quest 11, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yeah.
That's I think a little noteworthy. Naruto game charted
And that-
number 15.
Naruto. Crash Bandicoot charted. What was that, Corey?
No, I was saying it came out. Dragon Quest came out on September 4th, I think. So,
Yeah,
beginning of the month.
Yeah, beginning of the month. So Naruto was number 15. Some Nintendo evergreens are still holding up strong.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda. Crash is at number 17. Probably lifted
Crash
up
being
by
there is shocking.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the other platforms launched that, right? Or Nintendo, I think maybe a month
Did they have
launched.
that on the Switch?
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's on the
Okay.
Switch now. And number 20 is Minecraft.
Yeah.
The one thing that was not revealed in the official report, but Matt Piscatella in the Sales Era Discord chat revealed that Mega Man 11, with only I think 4 days of sales, managed to, if it was listed, it would be number 22 for the month. So it just missed the top 20 there.
Yeah.
So hopefully successful enough for them to continue with the Mega Man 12.
Hopefully. All right. Let's get into our top 5 best Halloween candies of all time. So we'll do a consensus list here. Excuse me. Sorry. Again, if you listen to the movie cast, we did our top 5 worst and we made a consensus list. So we had some fun with that. I think this one's going to kick us off with some fun as well because what was our number? Where did this show up again? My number 5 happened to be our number 3 top worst candy of all time.
Ooh.
At Smarties is my number 5 top best candy at Halloween. I love Smarties. I'm sorry, I do. And I talked about bad texture and stuff before, but for some reason, I always loved just throwing the entire wrapper down my just chewing on the whole thing at the same time. As I was a kid, I would they would be a great warm up candy for me, and I just loved having the different flavors.
I think they're right.
Yeah.
You would have the Smarties with the wrapper on, and then
No, I'd open the wrapper and just throw it the whole thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I would. The whole mix. So I'd do the whole smorgasbord of flavors in the one wrapper, and I just loved them. I always associate them with Halloween. I don't know. I just always, and I immediately had that on my list originally, and I'm and I knew that somebody else was. I knew one person was going to have on their negative. That was Tony. So I was I didn't know we were going to get 2 votes for that, but maybe my top 5. Tony, what was your 5?
Peanut M&Ms. So, so I'll just say
the best M&Ms, which is funny because I don't like peanut butter.
Yeah, that's true. This
is peanut. This is peanut. I didn't say peanut butter M&Ms.
Those
are
I know.
also great. Yeah.
Yes.
So the thing is, regular M&Ms narrowly missed out my worst candies list because I actually hate regular M&Ms, like plain old regular M&Ms. I don't know. It's just
it's on my list. It's coming up.
I just find it strange that the difference between peanut and regular M&Ms is so great for you.
It is.
It is actually. I agree with that because I think that there's no point in buying regular M&Ms.
Why? Right. I think they taste very good. There's something about just having some milk chocolate and a hard candy shell.
They're okay. I understand that. Like they're okay. I like M&Ms, but they're not substantial. Like a peanut M&M, that's substantial.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like a handful of M&Ms, I'm just like, whatever. I'm eating shitty chocolate. Peanut M&Ms, I'm like, all right, get shitty chocolate with at least a peanut inside and stuff like that. It's a bit more grit to it. The size is
a good combo.
Wait a minute though. I will tell you this: the good mix of that is to actually have a few regular M&Ms with one peanut M&M, and you get a little bit more chocolate with the. That's my mix. That's my mix.
That's a big no for me, dog.
It's a chocolate. It's about the chocolate.
They've already done it.
No, it's about the chocolate, man. This is about the chocolate.
I will say that the normally yellow wrappers helps for the Halloween-ness.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Mike, number 5.
My number 5, I'm gonna go with the Crunch Bar, and it's just
as a kid it would have made my list.
Yeah,
it's just like most of the other things I'm gonna mention are gonna a little
Crunch
more
or Crackle.
No, Crunch. I don't know.
No, Crunch is superior. Crunch is superior.
It's almost like a chocolate candy bar palate cleanser. It's just like there's not that much going on with it. But it's solid. It's harder. It has the crunch. It has the texture. There's nothing.
Rice Krispies in there.
Yeah. So there's nothing crazy going on, but I think it complements other candy bars as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Crunch is my number 5.
Okay.
All right, Corey.
Mike's gonna hate my number 5 because my number 5 is Tootsie Pops. Because I love Tootsie Rolls, and if you got a lollipop with a Tootsie Roll in it, it's even better. So
it's a lollipop with a hunk of shit in it that surprises you.
I almost put a blow pops used to be on mine.
Wait for it. Go time.
Smarties beat out blow pops for number 5.
So Corey, I have a question for you. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I have no idea.
The world may never know.
You remember that commercial though?
Yeah, I remember. The world may never know.
Okay, with the owl. That's iconic.
Yes, it is a iconic commercial.
Absolutely, and the artwork is iconic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like Tootsie Rolls, but Tootsie Pops actually I think are better because like that candy you get with
it's
the
more
chocolate.
candy.
But it doesn't go with the chocolate at the end. It's like it never mixed well.
It's not actual chocolate. It's chocolate flavored.
Oh, it's bad. Like just
chocolate flavored rubber. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like gum like with candy. Like I don't want gum and candy.
But gum is still fruity like
candy. I hate blow pops.
But gum is like fruity like candy
in your gum, dude.
But that's part of the flavor. It's part of the flavor.
Yeah, I mean, you just chew that up. It's like goes with the sugar. Like
it mixes into it.
The thing that made me hate Tootsie Roll Pops the most is thinking they were blow pops, and then like not getting
the fact that they're so different
instead.
from blow pops is what makes them good.
Yes,
they're the same thing. It's just a different thing in the middle.
I'm with you, Corey. Team Tootsie Pops.
Yeah. All right. So that's our 5s. Number 4 for me is just here we go. Regular, plain old M&Ms. Regular. M&Ms.
See, that's not festive enough for me for Halloween.
It's iconic. What M&M is an iconic Halloween candy.
It's in your grandmother's dish every time you should come over.
It's in there for like every holiday actually, but I always associate those little fun size M&Ms is what really is the first fun size packet of candy you can think of. Yeah, the brown bag
all the way.
No, you could think the first iconic fun size thing I think of is the brown bag of M&Ms, and that's for me. It's like I do like. I will say that I can't eat too many of them, but I do love just regular M&Ms. Like if I have what? Go on. You think you can down more at peanut M&Ms? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, just from even just a packaging standpoint, marketing. Like you look at peanut M&Ms and it's bright yellow, like attractive with the colors and stuff like that. And you take that same logo and it's like on fucking dark brown packaging. It's like, look, I get it's chocolate, but like you couldn't make this like another color, like blue or red or orange.
But they have them on it.
Different flavors now.
They have them on it. So I don't know.
I have nothing against M&Ms. If I did, I might get evicted from where I live.
Yeah, you do live across the street.
But I just think they're a little plain for a Halloween candy. That's all.
They have plain in the name. Plain.
Yeah,
M&Ms.
plain. Yeah.
Fucking basic, Jim. You're
Milk
basic.
chocolate bar. Hang on. Whatever. We'll see about basic in just a second. When we get to the 3s and 2s and 1s. Tony, what's your number 4?
It's gotta break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yep, that's a good
Number
one.
4. Just
That's
fucking
good.
that chocolate. So that actually, I want to go into a little bit of chocolate trivia. So in the North Americas, Kit Kat is distributed and produced by Hershey.
Yeah.
But everywhere else in the world, it's produced by Nestle, and they use different chocolate obviously because of different companies.
Really?
So if you have European Kit Kat or Asian Kit Kats, oh dude, there's so many fucking
And they have
flavors.
so many flavors too. With the
Oh
Kit
yeah,
Kats.
like Japan goes nuts with Kit Kats. Like
Wow.
next time you're in like Wagon, sometimes they carry around Wagon, I think. But if you're ever in like an Asian like district,
Yeah,
like,
Asian supermarkets usually have a bunch of them.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh god, they're so much better.
I'll check them
So
out.
good. But I mean, I love even American Kit Kat. It's just
Yeah, me too.
the
Yeah.
perfect blend of I say like semi-soft chocolate or semi or whatever you want to call it, and the wafers like the crisp, consistent, like just like a crisp cat, like just
I used to.
delightful.
I would eat them differently than most people. I would eat the chocolate.
Just like
No.
you're smart, where you suck them down.
I would eat the 2 ends on the first part of the Kit Kat, the biggest part of the chocolate, and then I would eat the sides of the chocolate, and then I would actually take the first layer of the wafer off and eat that part, and then would go layer by layer down.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would deconstruct the Kit Kat.
Yeah, so for me, like it's interesting because like I feel like I eat Kit Kats depending on my mood. So like I'm feeling like I don't know, I want to say like classy, but like just like feeling like regular. I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll break it off on a piece and I'll enjoy it at a piece. But I'm like, I don't know, like moody or just like whatever. Like it's
king
just like
size.
like just take a bite out of it, just like whatever.
The whole
Like
bar.
you're all getting beheaded right now, like bite their heads off. It's like,
All right.
I always think about Andy now from The Office when they
break me off a piece of that.
fancy feast.
Fancy. You sure that's what it is?
Yeah,
Fancy
fancy.
feast? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's good. All right, Mike. What's your number 4?
I'm gonna go with Twix.
Twix. Nice.
Ooh,
Twix
nice.
is,
This is gonna be interesting. These lists. This is gonna show up on a lot of people's lists. I think.
I mean,
so.
Twix is just a all-around solid
Really
candy
good.
bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the caramel, it's got the crunch, good,
The nougat.
good chocolate in them. I mean, it's not like it doesn't blow you away with anything, but
No.
I think it's a good, solid all-around candy bar. So
I like it. And
number
for some
What's going
reason,
on there?
you know what's crazy about the way we were mixing this with Halloween? I really like the fun size Twix more than the regular Twix bars. I think it's like
I don't
just
know if
smaller.
I've ever had a regular Twix bar.
Yeah,
I've
like
only
that's
had
what I
the
mean.
smaller ones.
The smaller ones are the best ratio of everything. I think if you have a whole Twix bar, you get a little bit too much Twix.
It's like
You know?
a single bite in one wrapper.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for like the full size of most candy bars is too much of that candy normally. Anyway,
That's true. All right, Corey, what's your 4?
Well, my 4 is the candy corn pumpkins because they
Oh,
are
Jesus
different
Christ.
than the candy corn. They have a different flavor, so and texture, and obviously shape. But yeah, the pumpkins are my number 4. I do like the candy corns.
All right, moving
Fan of
on.
candy.
sounds more like a number 2 to
They
me.
do.
Flavor actually different.
I think it's more the texture and stuff that make it seem like it tastes differently, but like, I do think they have a different
I have
flavor
to-
a little bit.
We can continue, but I need to Google this now because
I don't have anything. Wow. All right. Where are we? What number are we on? 3? Well, that was 4. That was your 4?
Yeah, that's 4.
Did we finish
Right.
4 there?
That was number 3 for me is Twix.
Okay.
As we mentioned, I like the candy size of them. Classic Halloween candy. I think it's awesome. Good nougat, as we mentioned in the other podcast. Good nougat. So I like that whole thing. So, Tony, what's your number 3?
same thing. It's got to go with that Twix.
Wow, look at this.
Cookie, chocolate, caramel ratio. Like it's perfect ratio.
Yeah.
I think if any one of it were just slightly off, I think the whole thing would just like not be as
It's got
good.
that left Twix though. It's like it's all about the left one.
I hate that marketing. It's like left Twix, right Twix. It's all about how you open it from the package, or again, like maybe it's this thing I just eat both of them at the same time, just stuff like that. But yeah, and you know what? I'll say Twix is one of the rare ones where even the offshoots. Like I think the only one I've seen these days is the peanut butter Twix.
Yeah.
That's delicious as well. And ice cream Twix, those are fucking.
Ice cream Twix are good. Yeah. You can freezing Twixes are good too.
Oh yeah. So, Mike, number 3.
Mine is Kit Kat.
Nice. It's
Again,
gonna be a tough list to decipher.
Kit Kat, I like it for the same reasons I like Crunch pretty much, but it's also just I think it's a little better. Like
I would agree.
Higher on your list, Mike.
It tastes a little better. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Corey?
My number 3 is Skittles.
Nice.
Skittles
Oh,
just
Skittles.
missed my top 5.
It did, yeah.
I think with like Halloween candies, it's like when you get those little bags of like small candies, like M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, and like Skittles. Obviously, like I just like went for the Skittles, and I don't know. I think that there's just the fruitiness of them. I guess is like because you got the chocolate with the candy bars and stuff.
Yeah.
I just like that as like a something different to go with the regular
Stuff like Skittles is definitely top tier. Now, the one thing I will say is, as a kid, I enjoyed Skittles even more because I forget what year they fucking did it, but they replaced lime as the green color flavor with fucking green apple.
Oh God, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Why
That
would
was a bad
anyone
idea.
want that?
No, it
Throws
was bad.
everything off.
Dude, I would love that. I just like get one of every color and just throw it in my mouth to get like that.
See,
Yeah.
this is the thing. This is my issue with this. Some of the flavors suck. So
No, but if you mix them all together, they're great, except for the fucking candy apple. That
And
was
then-
terrible.
and if you're
Green
really
apple.
trying to enjoy
Green
them,
apple.
you're
Sorry, fucking
gonna
candy.
suck on them a while, and that's not conducive to the rest of your Halloween night. I don't think. To suck on one candy for so long,
Nah, you can chew them. They're fine.
then you're missing out on half the flavor.
All right, so that
They
was
have good texture too. I like the texture of them. Like they kind of
Those
they're
are
chewy, but they also kind of melty.
yes, they're still
Yeah,
they still they don't get. All right, number 2 for me is the Kit Kat bar.
Kit Kat is getting
Kit
high
Kat
up
is
there.
like right outside of mine, so it's not going to show up on my list. Unfortunately,
okay.
guys. We'll knock that with 4-way.
Oh, all right, Tony, what's your number 2?
Mine's got to be Snickers. Fucking
Snickers.
love it. And again, like it's just one of those things where it's
That's
just
my
like,
number 2 as well.
all right, awesome.
Wow.
We're Snickers bros, but
Also, my number 2.
nice.
Whoa.
It's a three. It's a triple threat. But
Come on,
yeah, like
Jim.
Nope,
You know
didn't make my
this.
list. Snickers didn't make my list.
Whoa.
but fucking plain M&Ms did. You
Yes,
fucking
I like plain M&Ms.
Oh,
God.
bro, you'd rather have a bag of M&Ms than a fucking Snickers bar.
Yes.
You
Disgusting.
heathen.
Disgusting. Anyway, Snickers. Again, just a perfect ratio and like combination.
The sweet and the salty.
Great. The sweet,
And
the
then-
salty. Nougat is good.
Yep.
Chocolate is good. The peanuts good. Like
Mhm.
caramel, it's just so good.
It even has that little
textures.
texture on the
It
bottom.
has- yeah, the texture on the bottom. I love that pattern. I don't know why it adds
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
for me. But above all else, like I feel like out of all the candy bars, like it is so stupid because it's purely marketing. But like that, like hey dude, like you're hungry, eat a Snickers. That is one of the few candy bars where I'm like, you know what, this is very satisfying and filling to eat. Like I could eat a Snickers bar and be like, oh,
It's
you know what?
actually the only candy bar I buy outside of Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's almost why I have it at 2 instead of 1 for me, because I'll have a Snickers occasionally, not
That's
during
why.
Halloween.
That's why
because
it
I
didn't
like
really
it.
make it. Didn't make my list because this was for Halloween candy. I was like, I
But, I mean,
associate
I-
these other things more for Halloween.
I still think it's an essential part of a Halloween candy
Yeah.
thing, but it probably lost it number 1 because I've had it outside of Halloween too
Yeah.
much.
Now, the one thing I will say about Snickers, so I like the regular size bar, and you were lucky if you got a couple of those for Halloween night. And I don't mind the fun size, but when you get to the mini size, I think it's just a cock tease. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
it's
little
just
too
like
little.
it's like
Yeah.
one
That's
little
where the
bite. You're
fun's
like,
been.
The
Yeah.
ratio's off. The ratio's off.
right,
Yes,
it is.
yeah.
Thank you. The ratio is off. Like I just get like one bite of it, and I'm like, I want more. Like and like the thing
Well,
is,
a lot of those minis
couple-
don't work. A lot of the minis don't
Yeah,
work.
they don't.
Yeah.
So,
The Musketeers, Jim. Perfect
fuck
ratio.
that. Fuck that. Yeah, the garbage is the perfect ratio for that. All right. That's we're at number 1 now, aren't we?
Well, what's your number 2, Jim? Oh, you
It was
did
Kit
yours.
Kat. Yeah,
The
Kit Kat.
that's right.
Number 1 for me is obviously the peanut butter cup, the Reese's.
That's my number 1 as well.
Yeah, it's got to be there for me. I knew that to begin with, and it's like the most popular candy at Halloween in
You got
America.
peanut on my chocolate. You got chocolate on the
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Officer, this is all for the Reese's.
Now, to me, peanut butter cups are too mushy in the middle.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, there's
I'm
no
not
wrong
a
way
fan
to
of
eat a
peanut
Reese's,
butter.
No,
man.
then it's too melty. The temperature, room
Yeah,
temperature.
I
does
mean,
not
throw them in the
have-
freezer.
Again,
If-
you can
no.
have those frozen. They're great frozen.
I know, but you're not getting that handed out to you on Halloween.
No,
Like
Well,
that.
you throw them
but
in there
I
once
used
you
to
go.
throw them in there when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
but you
But,
control what when you eat
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not as a kid. I don't know.
don't
You just want to
control
throw everything in your mouth.
Well, that's
Just
your
throw
problem.
it
I don't know, though, man.
But you could
Down.
still eat the Reese's. Like you could eat all the chocolate away and then eat the peanut butter.
Oh my
I was
god! What is with you in these weird ways to eat these things?
First of all, there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
You found the wrong way, and that was it.
Thank you for naturally working that in the conversation. That A+.
Thank you.
That's the title of this podcast, by the way.
So
it is better refrigerated. I'll admit that, but for me, it stayed out of my top 5 just because I don't like the consistency of it. Once you get,
you guys can shut up. We're talking about our number ones. You guys can talk about what is your thing.
I love this. I mean, this is like the iconic Halloween candy. Absolutely 100% iconic.
Yes.
The iconic Halloween candy. And it's like, I just love, I mean, I'm a peanut butter fan. I'm a chocolate fan. It's a marriage of all flavors that I love. So it's perfect for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I will 100% agree with you on that because it's also my number one. But everything about Reese's is perfect. So if you want to talk about the candy, we can talk about it. The chocolate to peanut butter ratio is perfect. And this is one of those rare candies where like the actual like seasonal version of the thing, like where they're like, oh, pumpkin Reese's or like Christmas tree Reese's or like Valentine's Reese's, like the ratio is off. So like I enjoy it because it's like a little bit different, but to spice it up. But you want to talk about the packaging. I mean, that logo, like the iconic orange and the I think it's yellow lettering, something like that, hasn't changed since I was a kid. So I mean, it's persisted throughout the ages. And honestly, like Jim just said, like chocolate peanut butter go so well together. And anytime somebody's like, it's just like peanut butter and jelly, I'm like, get that shit out of here. It's peanut butter and chocolate, motherfucker. That is the true pairing. The one true pairing. OTP.
Funny part about this was Reese's Candy Company was established when the guy who originally Reese's worked for Hershey. And then Hershey didn't want to make the I think they didn't want to make his candy bar, the Reese's and the Hershey and the chocolate. So he spun off with his own company and made the Reese's. And then obviously Hershey ended up buying his company later on. But yeah, so they were big competitors because he left and started his own chocolate company. So it was a big competition in the beginning. Yeah. So anyways, but yeah, great candy. Mike, what could possibly be your number one?
Butterfinger.
Oh shit! I almost dropped my phone. Yeah. Butterfingers. Ooh,
Butterfingers.
No, I don't like Butterfingers.
I love like Butterfingers. To me, like that's like I know it's a more severe taste, and that's why I don't really have
with Butterfingers
outside of Halloween.
Let Mike talk is number one.
I like the crunch of it. I like the butter, the peanut butter flavor and stuff, and it's just to me, it's real sweet too, a little bit
super sweet.
Yeah, but like that's what I was looking for, like at the time, and that's what I want for Halloween. Like that's it. And again, the packaging is sort of Halloween themed.
Yeah, sure, no, you're right.
You're right.
That's another thing where the packaging has been awesome. And I will say real quick, so I liked Butterfingers a lot when I was a kid. I don't like it too much as an adult now. But again, this is the marketing fucking working. But when I was a kid, Simpsons, Bart Simpson marketed the Butterfinger. Get your fingers off my Butterfinger.
No better. Nobody
100% worked on me.
As my Butterfinger.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like that 100% worked on me. It was like, I'm gonna be like Bart with Bell, blah blah blah. Butterfinger,
but for me, that was the prized candy for Halloween, just because it has that little extra for me.
It's one of those weird, for me, like it had like definitely texture wise.
That's the problem. My problem with that candy is you take the first bite, it's fine. You take the second bite, it's in your fucking teeth.
Yeah, I mean it can do that, but so does most candy.
No, that's what I like about these other ones, like Hershey's, not the Snickers, the Twix, the Reese's. I mean, you bite into them, and they're not stuck to the top of your teeth, to the bottom of your teeth. So it's
for me, the Butterfinger, the orange inside gets like stuck. Like,
right in there,
right underneath or on the top, whatever you want to call it.
It's worth it.
You have to do that. And you're doing that with your teeth the whole time?
Sometimes it's like not that bad though, but like the texture for me, I can't do Butterfinger.
All right, Corey, what was your number one?
My number one is Twix.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay,
respectable.
You guys talked about a bunch already.
That made us all. Yeah. Go on.
It's funny because it's my number one Halloween candy, but I'd say Snickers is like my number one overall like candy bar. Because like I said, I buy that outside of Halloween, but when Halloween comes around, like you're saying, the fun size like Twix is just like a perfect ratio of everything. Just unwrap that, throw it in my mouth, and like have a great time.
Have a good time. Just throw it in my mouth.
Have a great time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's
a bunch of great flavors all right there.
Wow.
Good cookie, good caramel, good nougat, good chocolate.
Yeah, great combination. All right.
I think that's our only 5 or 4 or 5.
That's a 4. That's a 4. So that's number 1. Twix is number 1 for us. It has to be. It made all of our lists, right?
Wait, if we're doing points,
if we're doing heavy weighted points,
number 2, like Snickers was number 2 for 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I think
Snickers would be number 1.
I think Reese. Wait, did Reese's make either of your lists?
Nope.
No, that's the problem. So like our Reese's can't really be 1 or 2. It has to be we could argue 3, I think.
Okay, we can argue 3.
It's gonna be 3 if it's both your number 1s.
So would we do Twix in 2 because all 4 of us had the Twix?
Yeah, I think so. I think Snickers is number 1 then, definitely.
Yeah,
Kit Kat's gonna probably chart too.
Yeah, well, Kit Kats and Reese's are the argument here for 3 and 4.
Oh, because there's 3 Kit Kats and
Yeah.
but there are 2 Reese's at number 1.
Okay,
I would
so
say that.
did Alexa just talk to you?
I'm scared, guys. I have no idea what just triggered that.
Did she just order you candy?
I don't know.
Candy corn on the way.
I have to look now.
All right, so Reese's at 3, Kit Kat at 4. What's 5? We had let's see, we had Butterfinger.
Butterfinger was Mike's number 1.
Mike's number 1 is Butterfinger. By default, that usually makes the list then.
He didn't chart at all for anyone else.
I gotta go real quick, guys. So.
That's fine. Well, we're wrapping it up, so Corey, we'll let you see in a little bit. So, all right. So here's our top 5 then. So number 5, Butterfingers. Number 4, Kit Kats. Number 3, Reese's peanut butter cups. 2, Twix, and number 1 is Snickers bars. So there's your definitive top 5 list.
I would be very happy with all that in my Halloween bag.
Yeah, that's a great Halloween bag, actually. I can't even argue that.
Is.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that's going to wrap up 418 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allycangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Thank you.